Christmas jumpers, because 12 million Christmas jumpers are expected to be bought this year as the nation's love of gaudy knitwear covered in trees and baubles continues unabated. However, very serious side to this. The environmental charity Hubbub is asking people to think about the planet and reuse an old jumper or buy second-hand instead. They estimate there are around 65 million festive sweaters languishing in the back of wardrobes that have probably only been worn a handful of times. There's one jumper per person in this country, and they're not being used properly. This is not just about buying new when second-hand can and ought to do. It's also about the oceans, because the charity goes on to say that 95% of Christmas jumpers are now made from plastic, usually acrylic yarn, and in every wash, hundreds of thousands of microplastic fibers get swept from the clothes into our waterways and seas. They do not biodegrade, and they enter the food chain. So as the ever-popular charity Christmas Jumper Day approaches on the 13th, the day after the election, the advice from environmentalists is, okay, wear one, but don't buy a new one. Have you stopped yourself buying festive knitwear because you're so conscious of the waste? Or do you think, no, don't be a killjoy, everyone loves a Christmas jumper, and the whole point is the novelty, it's wearing one no one's seen before. 08000 288 290 and author of A Life Less Throwaway. Gosh, I can't imagine how you feel about Christmas jumpers.
Well, it's pretty shocking, those stats, isn't it? And when you think that 1 in 4 Christmas jumpers only gets worn once, and there'll be 12 million sold this year, that's just such a huge amount of waste, and we're just dealing with it wrong. Obviously, Christmas jumpers are really fun. It's a fun cultural thing for us all to have, but I think that we could be dealing with it a lot better and, swapping our jumpers around. If we say that there's one jumper for everyone, why can't we be swapping it around? That's definitely enough to have a different jumper every year.
So you would go with one jumper for life?
Well, either get a jumper that you like enough to bring it out year after year. I've got a jumper like that. It's a very dodgy snowman, and I love it. And
it's a Christmas-specific one, yeah.
It is a Christmas jumper, and I bring it out every year, and I wear it on several occasions over Christmas, and it's super fun. But I'm not one of those people that thinks that, well, I've already worn this, and therefore I can't possibly wear it again. I think if you do feel in that way, and I kind of blame the kind of Instagram culture for this, the idea that you can't be seen in the same thing twice, I think that, swapping and buying secondhand is the way to go if you care about the environment. Guys
seem to be less bothered by the idea, do you turn up 2 years running at a party wearing the same red jumper? It seems to be, would it be fair to say, women who buy clothes who are very conscious that the same outfit twice is not acceptable?
I think we've been told this constantly by marketing messages, and obviously this plays into the shop's hands beautifully, because they don't want us thinking that it's right to wear the same thing twice. They want us constantly rebuying, but we need to realise now that that's not an okay way to go.
And worryingly, that even the washing of the old Christmas jumper may be spewing plastic goblets into the sea.
Yes, so this is a particular concern, and obviously people are beginning to become aware of the plastic problem. I think in the last couple of years it's really become apparent, and the latest stats are that we're ingesting about a credit card's worth of microplastics every week ourselves as humans. You imagine, a credit card's worth of plastic going into your body every week. It's not a nice thing, and the reason for that is because we're expelling so many microplastics into the environment, and that really needs to stop. So if you do have an old Christmas jumper that's made out of acrylics, and acrylics are particularly bad from a microplastics point of view, wash it within a Guppy Friend bag, because that will stop the microfibers from coming out of the product itself and reaching the sea.
Is that right? So is that like a string bag, or what?
It's a filtered bag. Yes, it's a very fine mesh which stops the microfibers from coming out of the product. It stops the friction, but then it also stops the microfibers from getting out into the general wash.